Sobriety Essays number 66, Widow and Widower. On April 14th, 2016, my wife had a massive aneurysm to the head. She was in a coma for 6 days and died. She died on the very day I celebrated 32 years of sobriety. She died ending a 51-year marriage. I was 79 years old. At the suggestion of a fellow alcoholic, I went to bereavement classes offered by the local hospital every Wednesday for over a year. I misplaced about 2 months out of my life. I don't remember. I think I was going to 2 AA meetings a day, not because I was worried about drinking. I just did not want to walk through this by myself. Now, being a widower for 15 months, I did not let the ladies of Laguna Woods know I was a widower. It is a 55-plus community, and I did not want to be lead dog in the casserole line. So one day, I am sitting at my dining room table and thinking that me being alone with me and thinking can be a scary place. So I had this thought: what would my wife want me to do? What do I want me to do? And the third thought would be, what would I want my wife to do if I had gone first? The answer is get on with life. So at the suggestion of one of the guys I sponsored, I started researching online dating. I researched the pros and the cons, all sorts of articles on the internet on what to watch for, both pros and cons. At 79, it just did not make any sense to get married, but it would be nice to find someone to walk through life with. So I found an online dating site that was free. I always liked the word free. I dated 13 ladies and had made an Excel file to keep track of everybody. Names, phone numbers, and what their interests were in. Quit laughing so hard. It was interesting. I am not a shy person, so I actually made a 4x7 sign put on a lanyard to wear around my neck. It said, widower and looking. I heard that it was a great way to meet ladies in supermarkets. Never did wear it. Another thing I did was try and find out if I could travel alone. RVing and cruising was something my wife and I loved to do. So on 2 separate occasions, I went on a trip, both overnight driving trips. I discovered 2 things. First, I could do it, and I was proud of myself. And second, I didn't like it. Now, I am going to AA meetings almost daily. I like evening meetings, just being around people like me, an alcoholic. But God had some plans that I did not know about. Ever hear the saying, a coincidence is a minor miracle in which God wishes to remain anonymous? One morning, I decided I would go to a morning meeting. I normally do not like going to morning meetings, as I basically like to sleep in. This meeting is almost within walking distance, and I had not been there in several years. But it just seemed like the thing to do that morning. So I showed up. I was a bit early and chatting when I met a lady by the name of Barbara, and she had lost her husband 4 months earlier. She had been married 29 years, second husband, and she and I had almost the same amount of sobriety. Now, being a good guy and a gentleman, you do not hit on a woman that is still in what I call a vulnerable state. So, with pure motives, I invited her to go to bereavement classes at the nearby hospital. I did not suggest she go, I took her. After a bit of time, we started to date. Then this coincidence thing started to kick in. First, we both had 34 years of sobriety. We call that being in the class of '84. We both had done a lot of cruising. She had been on 38 Princess cruises and I had been on 34. We both liked driving trips. Our spouses had died on the 19th of the month, 10 months apart. Okay, after a few months, women's clothing started to show up in my closet. Now, I am an honest guy and made it clear that I do not want to ever get married again. Researched the pros and cons and did not see any advantage. So we moved in together, and I had to let 13 ladies online dating service know that I was no longer on the market. Now that's funny. So we lived together for about 3 years and had so much in common that it was scary. Like God had this whole thing planned out. Then, for no known reason, it seemed just right thing to do is get married. So I proposed and she accepted. Now we are right in the middle of this covert thing, so we had to keep the wedding small and local. Huh. We set up a card table on the front lawn, put a big book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the crucifix on the table. We got a judge with 35 years of sobriety, my best man I had known, and he called me sponsor for 34 years. The matron of honor had seen me get sober 39 years of sobriety. There were 11 of us altogether, and 7 of the 11 members were members of Alcoholics Anonymous. Among the 7, there was 207 years of sobriety at the wedding. We have been married now for over 3 years, and both of us 39 years of sobriety. We have so much in common, it is scary. We wake up in the middle of the night holding hands. We bought us a small RV and spend 2 or 3 months exploring the United States. We love going on cruises and finding friends of Bill W. and Dr. Bob meetings on board the ship. So here we are in our 80s, just a couple of God's kids walking the path of life together, holding hands and helping others when we can. Thanks for being there for us, Barbara and Chuck.